NYC is so stinky. I had so many of you guys like warning me about like how New York is gonna be so bad and everything. It was honestly delightful. The only stinkiness that I have perceived as a very sensitive individual to these kind of things, as I am very straight edge, is a lot of fucking weed smell. And I did see on Times Square walking around, I did see one person overdosing on heroin. So that's maybe like, you know, that was a little bit shocking, but I was kind of proud how I immediately recognized that that person wasn't drunk, but very much overdosing on shit. So everybody, don't take drugs. Be straight edge like me. Yeah, that's concerning. But besides that, like, lots of weed. I'm sure it's, like, legal. Is it legal in New York? I'm sure it's legal there. But, I really hate the smell so much. It's legal in New York? Okay. See, but I hate it. I hate it so much. So disgusting. But anyway, sorry to anybody in the chat who likes to use weed, have fun. I even used the underground transportation method, and it was clean and not concerning, even though Ame warned me that I shouldn't step too closely to the yellow line because sometimes people push others over just for fun into the tracks, and then you might die. So don't step too close. But yeah, I went into the subway. I didn't have like an insane amount of sightseeing time, but I knew that I wouldn't, so I was actually the only one, more or less. Besides Ame, only me and Ame kind of extended our stays a little bit, so that was fun. Me and Ame had quite a bit of extra time together. So there on one of the days we did sightseeing with Calli, Ame, Huamoko, Kiara. Interesting combination. I was surprised that Ame would join our group. I think she just likes me too much. I wasn't sure if she liked me, but she spent so much time with me this time, so I felt like, you know. Where do I start? I have pictures and I actually have videos too. Videos? Nani? Ta-ta-ta-tan! And with this group, we went to... First of all, we went to this beautiful park that I think is quite famous. It's so big! I really wanted to walk through it, like a lot of it. We spent quite a bit of time here. It's really beautiful. Like this was a beautiful view. There's this huge lake. Yeah, you need a lot of time to see the whole thing, right? But we saw quite a bit of it, I would say. And Ame was like helping. Like Ame was legit our tour guide. She was leading us through the whole thing, and she showed us things that otherwise we probably would have not found. And she did tell me this is okay to say. She did grow up in some parts of New York. So that's how she was so knowledgeable. She told me, actually, not on this day, but she told me so many crazy stories about New York, that like, also like connections, like not necessarily something that she experienced, but maybe family members experienced. And the whole time she's telling these stories, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, so typical Ame. It's so crazy. Her stories are so crazy, and that was like honestly better than any tour guide I could have hired. But yeah, she led us pretty confidently through Central Park. So we walked through the park for a while, and there's like a lot of like wide, big spaces, and there's people like picnicking and hanging out. And anywhere you look, there's squirrels. There's freaking squirrels everywhere. So do you want to see a squirrel video? Because we saw squirrels everywhere, but at some point, we stopped in front of like a fence because we saw a cute squirrel on a tree. And then I was like, oh my god, so cute! And then Ame picked up a nut and was seducing the squirrel to come over. He's currently being seduced by
our local detective.
He checked it. He didn't like it.
I don't need your acorns. Your acorns got human scent on them.
Yeah.
So Calli, I have to say, like, there was like this moment where, okay, we're all back, right? And we're like waiting to go to the after party, and Calli realizes something behind the scenes and notifies us that there's a problem with our after party venue. And in that moment, I knew. I talked to her about it later, but I knew. I know her pretty well by now. She always, wants to organize things for us, and then so often things will go like wrong for her. Doesn't matter if it's like when it's a stream that she planned and either a solo or a collaboration, and then things just don't go right, or something IRL, like things always seem to kind of go wrong. She's very cursed in that sense. So I knew that the moment she wrote that, like, please wait, like, something's wrong with our venue, I knew that she was probably, like, really stressed and having a breakdown or something, or felt really bad about it. And I was just like, later on, I was like, Calli, I know how you must have felt in that moment. Don't worry about it, okay? Things turned out really great, and I'm sure you felt really bad when it happened. And I know you, Calli. Just kind of trying to cheer her up, because she... I feel bad. Like, how does she end up in these situations all the time? But she shouldn't feel too bad about it. Like, the fact that she always tries to put things together for us. She really tries to please everybody, but things will go wrong sometimes, and that's okay. But we're really, I think, all grateful that somebody put something together in the first place, because we were all like so occupied with our minds, and it's actually incredible that she can do it, because she's already like one of the busiest people among us, and the fact that she still takes time to do stuff like that is amazing. We ended up on one of many New York's beautiful rooftops, and it was so beautiful. Can't believe that this was the emergency choice. Gorgeous. It was such an amazing view. I feel like, we're not really party people. We're mostly like introverted people, so we weren't like dancing or anything, but they were playing music, and we got drinks and we got food. Calli got us a huge order of canes, which I think she says is her favorite chicken in America. The thing is, like, she ordered so much more food than we needed, because like we were mostly just like talents and a few managers, and she thought that there would be so much more like staff also coming. She didn't give like a clear invitation to them, so they ended up, going somewhere else, but she assumed that they would come. So we had like so much food. Holy shit. Apparently we got like Yago to pay for it in the end. Thank you, Yago. Because first it was like, this all just happened because of Calli. Like, there was no like after party or anything planned from the management side. So thank you, Calli. I just had like a mocktail, but some of the girls ordered cocktails. Iris really stood out to me. Kronii too, partially, but Kronii and Iris were sticking together. Ina and Bae were sticking together. Fuamoko obviously was sticking together. Calli was just kind of everywhere. Yeah, Anemachi and Suisei obviously were sticking together. I was like kind of like sticking with Ame. But I noticed that Iris was... I don't think I ever saw her drunk before. She gets like so talkative, of course, but like she's so smiley. She just won't stop smiling. She's smiling so much when she's drunk. It's so cute. Like, she just couldn't stop smiling with an open mouth too. Like, she was just so and then she uses her hands way more too. Like, her arms and her hands were flailing around. She was so excited to join conversations. Then, so, at the venue, like, I got a massage from Kronii, right? And that was really nice. She's so good. And I really needed a massage. At the after party, somehow she decides to massage me again. I was like, again? Really? What? And she's like, yeah, lie down there. Because we had like sofas. Sofas. So she's like really serious about it. Because she did say before, like when she first massaged me, she was like, oh, this is really bad. Like, you should lay down for this, actually. So I laid down this time. She was already kind of like, she had alcohol in her body, so maybe it came from that. She was just like in the mood. So I lay down, and I'm just like I feel kind of She massages me and I'm like happy and it goes on for a while, quite long. She really like gets into it, you know. And then after Kronii, don't watch this. After a while, we kind of get up and it seems to be the end of it, right? But like she's talking to someone. I feel like, oh man, she massaged me so long and she massaged other people too. And I feel like, you know, maybe somebody needs to massage Kronii for once. So I go behind her and like I suddenly, while she's talking to someone, I suddenly start massaging her shoulders. And she likes it because I get compliments about my massages too, you know? But then I do it for a while and she's enjoying it. So I really want to like continue longer because she did my massage for so long. But then I notice I'm getting so weak. And I tell her like, oh man, now I know why you go with the elbow because my hip fingers, my hands are dying. But she likes it. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe, you know, that maybe you can lie down and I'll try my elbow. And she's like, yeah, okay. And she teaches me how to use the elbow, you know, this and that. And I'm like, is this good here? Is this good here? Because she's lying down on the sofa. And I'm like, I was feeling embarrassed. But I wanted to give her something back, you know? And I was improving my technique. So I massage her for a while. And then she tells me to, you know, she massaged me again. So we were in this endless massage cycle and like give and take, you know. I was kind of flustered and so happy about Kronii even approaching me. Yeah, you know, like, I don't know, me and Kronii, I feel like we've been getting along forever, you know, but like, it's not like we have a million collabs and a million interactions. I just feel like, you know, when we played Diablo and so on, like, we did get along, but then at the same time, you know, like, she's this cool type of person, you know? So I'm like, I don't know if she really likes me, or if this is just business, I don't know. So I'm like, unsure, and my brainworms tell me that everybody hates me, you know, so I'm not sure. But then after all this massaging, like at the end of the day or the evening, like, you know, when we say goodbyes and good nights to each other, she's like, let's collab again sometime. And I'm like, ugh. And I like I try not to cry because I'm kind of like feeling so touched that like she wants to collab with me. What? Trying to not cry, really. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm just really happy that you like me. So she's like, what do you mean? I don't know, like, you know, I feel like, I don't know, maybe there's no reason because we do get along, like, the times when we did, like, collab, but I'm generally, like, I'm really, like, not sure, like, sometimes people like me, so then when you ask me directly, I'm just so happy about it. She was so sweet. I'm gonna cry now. There was one time in the after party where I noticed Calli separated herself from the groups and set herself alone onto one of the sofas, but like not in a sad way. She like sits down with this smile, this content, just happy, satisfied smile. She sits down with her arms like spread over the top of the couch and the sofa, and then her legs also spread, and she just like leans back and just smiles, and I'm observing her, and I'm noticing, I'm like, she's happy. And I noticed though that like she looks to me like, you know, one of these like rich rappers just like being cool. So I go over to her and I'm like, you know, you look to me like one of those rappers. I felt like you needed a bitch by your side. Sit down next to her. Because she's like kind of man-spreading. And her arms like, you know, also spread like straight to the side. Feels like she needs a lady around her. So I sat down. I'm like, I felt like you needed a bitch by your side. And I wanted to lend her company. She didn't seem like sad about sitting alone in that moment. She chose to sit alone in that moment and take it in. But I felt like, you know, I've been like bonding a lot with Calli, and I wanted to like be by her side. I was like, Calli, let me sit next to you. Let me be your bitch. I don't know, this whole experience, I feel like we all bonded so much in these few days. It's this special feeling that is hard to describe, and hard to recreate and something that only we understand. We grew closer as a branch and we had a great time together.